My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. This is the body edition. We are still exploring bodies in the Curious Universe this month, and this is our last one. And I wanted to look at this tool, Who Does It Belong To? Body edition. So I know we've talked about the tool, Who Does It Belong To? Multiple times on the show. If you haven't caught it, maybe go back and check some stuff out. But essentially, it is the idea that 98% of your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions don't belong to you. I talk about this in my classes all the time. And when someone is kind of new to this tool, I often get that like, but no real belief in it, no real willingness to even contemplate the concept that your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions don't belong to you. Why would you be having them if they didn't belong to you, right? Well, we are psychic receivers. You always maybe wanted psychic powers. That was like, when I was a kid, I was like, ooh, psychic powers would be so cool. I didn't realize I already had them. And they're called thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So you don't have thoughts, you don't have feelings, you don't have emotions the way that we've been told that we do. A lot of those things is us perceiving them, but because no one talks about it, no one says to you, oh, are you perceiving someone's sadness? Of course, we're going to assume it is ours. Not only are we going to assume that, but we are taught that way. We're taught to identify emotions even as a kid. You know, we have the emotion cycles and these like things that even go home to my kids, and they are all about claiming and owning the feelings that are up around you. But have you ever woken up feeling kind of like low or sad, but you didn't really have a reason? So then you kind of look for a reason to make it make sense. Or you slept really well, but then after like 5 minutes of getting up, you're just exhausted and you can't figure out how. Or you start to, I had this thing with my childhood best friend where if she would have a headache, sometimes we wouldn't even be in the same room. I would like pull the headache out of her, and then we would talk later and we would notice the moment her headache went away was the moment my headache started. And we would kind of do this thing. So what if there's so much more going on than we have ever been told? And if you start to really use this with your body, you can have a lot of relief. Oh my goodness. And a lot more pleasure and space with your body. So who does it belong to? The body edition is, we're going to be looking at the body and where we make things that are not ours. So you can actually lock something into your body. So for example, the headache thing, I could lock that headache into my body and create it as mine and suffer the headache rather than acknowledging that I have a capacity to heal and that I could have been the healer, been the catalyst for change, rather than having to pull someone's headache out of them and then lock it into mine. And now I have to suffer it. We do this all the time. We can do it with people that we care about. Like, for example, my friend, and I would just sense her even if we haven't even really communicated that day. We can do it with family members that we haven't spoken to in forever. And, maybe you find you've been having all these weird symptoms, and then you're like, oh my gosh, my auntie's going through menopause or whatever. And you've been having these symptoms that are similar. Often an indication that it's not yours is that once you have that awareness, it starts to go away. Isn't that magical? Suddenly you don't have those symptoms anymore. If it was truly yours, is that even possible? No, my friend, no. So if you looked at all the feelings in your body, because your body's your body feels, right? So it could feel sore, it could feel tired, it could feel achy, it could feel enlivened, it could feel a million things. And right now, just check in all the feelings that you are having with your body right now. In truth, how many of them are yours? Now, if any of those feelings started to disappear or get lighter, then they weren't yours. If you started to have pings of awareness, like, oh, that body pain, or oh, blah, 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 then it wasn't yours. These are some of the fun ways to kind of play with it and start to really discover what's true. So there's a challenge in Access Consciousness where all these amazing tools I get come from, and where you for 3 days straight, for every single thought, feeling, physical feeling, and emotion, you ask, who does this belong to? And you do it for 3 days straight. Well, I am one of those people with a teeny tiny bladder, and I seem to have to go to the bathroom all the time. And one of the funniest things for me during those 3 days is I would suddenly have this sensation oh, I have to go to the bathroom. And then I would ask, well, who does that belong to? And then the feeling would completely disappear. What? So I was going a tenth of the amount of times to the washroom, realizing that I've just been peeing for everyone else. My body is aware. And so your body will tell you what's going on with other bodies by communicating. And the best way for it to communicate to you is through feelings, through how it physically feels, right? So if you feel really tired and your body's trying to say, hey, our friend is really tired and getting run down, we're not picking up the signals going, oh my gosh, my friend's really tired, wonder what I can contribute. Instead, we go, oh my God, I'm really tired. And then we lock it into our body. We lock in that communication into something different, into a problem. So everything that you've locked into your body that was just a communication of your body about other bodies, would you be willing to destroy and create all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys, povens, and beyonds. That's the Access Conscious Clearing Statement. If you've listened to the show before, you've heard me use it. If not, please feel free to go to theclearingstatement.com. We always put a link in the description if you want to know more about that magical tool. But for now, we just look at it as a way to clear energy. It's a magic wand. I love it. It can change everything. You don't even need to know how it works or what it even means. So, okay. So who does this belong to? So now let's take chronic things. Because some people have had chronic pain or chronic symptoms or chronic things going on, chronic fatigue, right? And the funny thing about something chronic that you've kind of done everything you can do to change it. I know I had chronic back pain since I was probably around 12. I think when I started to kind of, menstruate, turn into more of a lady, I started just to have back pain, and it got worse and it compacted. It got worse. It got worse. It got worse. It got worse. I tried chiropractors. I tried all this stuff. And it wasn't until actually I came across the Access bars that changed for me. And it changed so dynamically that it just completely disappeared. Later on, there would be a moment where maybe I had done a lot of physical work or a lot of bending over. And then there would be almost an energy of it's going to reoccur, this back pain. And with this tool of who does this belong to, it would completely disappear out of my world. And I knew if I didn't have these tools, how easy it would have been for me to recreate it, to keep it as this chronic condition that is unchangeable. You cannot change something that isn't yours. You can't change something in your body, with your body, that isn't yours. So this even goes with weight. So people that have, maybe they've had a lot of weight issues and they're like, no matter what I do, I don't eat, I eat, I follow this protocol, I follow that protocol, this diet, this pill, I can't lose the weight. Well, then you want to ask the question, whose weight is this? Ooh, wow, that has a lot of energy on it. Whose weight is this? Because you can't change it if it's not yours. All you can do is acknowledge it's not yours. Destroy and create everywhere you made the weight yours. And actually be willing to, even though it sounds insane, how would I have weight on my body? How would I have these fat cells and it not be mine? It doesn't make sense. You're right. Yet I have seen so many miracles that I can't deny that it is true. I've had my own physical miracles and I've been witness to and facilitated so many body miracles. It's incredible. So if the weight isn't yours, you have to really be willing to destroy and create where you made it yours and let that go. Because if you're like, okay, I'll do these words, but you're not actually willing to acknowledge that it's not yours, it just won't work. It just won't. And that's fine. This tool just won't work for you. But if you're willing to go into the energy of it, like lean in and go, okay, is this weight, could be like belly fat or overall body weight or thighs or like love handles, like whatever it is. Okay. So just kind of lean into the energy for a minute. So is this belly fat mine? Are these love handles mine? Are the, like, whatever it is this body weight mine? If it gets really light, but the belly weight is like kind of still substantially energetically there, then it's yours. And then you can work on that in a different way, body communication. But if it feels like it's like you almost physically get lighter, or when you ask the question, is this body weight mine? And the mind has a sense of solidity, heaviness, contraction. What's heavy for you, anything that's heavy for you means that it's a lie. So the lie is that it's yours. Is this mine? If it's heavy, it's not yours. Even though you're wearing it, you could borrow someone else's outfit and wear it. Doesn't mean that it's yours. It's not yours. This can be for so many other conditions. I actually had a client who suddenly had diabetes show up and the test results said it and everything. And then I just asked her the question, is this actually even yours? And she was like, no, oh my gosh. She realized it was a family member. And she was aware of it and trying to heal him and taking it out. We can have miracles with our bodies if we're willing to destroy and create all these things that we've locked in as ours that are not ours. So if you've been trying to change something especially with the access tools, and I'm just saying that not out of bias, but because it is the only thing that I've seen. I've seen other things that can create change. Absolutely. 100%. But it's the only thing I've seen that is like true miracles every time. So if you've been trying to change something with the tools, the access conscious tools, over a long period of time, and it is not changing, it is most likely not yours. And you just have to be willing to get vulnerable with that, acknowledge it as the truth of what it is, return to sender, meaning stop controlling whoever this weight was for. Just return it. Don't even worry about it. It's theirs. They'll have the awareness of how to change it when they're ready. Return to center with consciousness attached and use a clearing statement. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys, pubs. This can be with physical pain. This could be with chronic exhaustion. This can be with so many things. If it's not yours, you can't change it with the tools because it's not yours. You have to let it go. But they can change it, and they'll be able to change it like that. That is the thing that is crazy making, because you might have been holding on to this for like years. And really, it's not even yours to hold on to. So return to center with consciousness attached, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all natures, boys, boys, and beyonds. Who does it belong to? If you feel hungry, who does it belong to? If you any feelings, even I was noticing the other day, suddenly like signs of aging around my eyes that were not there like 2 days ago. And I'm like, okay, I know this isn't mine. Body, we don't have to take this on. And I just straight and created everywhere I was making it mine. And also willing to look at the body communication. Body, what are you trying to communicate with me? Now, there was an episode earlier this month. I talked about body communication. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. Go back, check it out. Everything with your body is communication. Everything with your body is just communication. So if you see aging on your face or wherever, you could go, oh, of course, you could buy into the aging game and be like, I'm aging, blah, blah, blah. This is just what happens at blah, blah, blah age. Or you can go, okay, body, what are you communicating with this? Perceive the awareness that comes up. And you might not get anything cognitive right away. You might sense energy, and then you could just keep asking every day. And you might never get anything cognitive, but you might notice it's just melting off your face. It's just changing. It's just disappearing. Body, what are you communicating with this? Be open to receive it. If you feel like shoulder pain, I have a lot of clients and they'll be on the table and like midway through the session, they'll be like, oh, I feel something in my body. Like this hurts, or this is stiff. Or it felt like I got stabbed in the back. It's always body communication. Oh, what is your body communicating to you right now? So what if every feeling you have, even when we have stories to go with it, okay? So like I said before, where I'm like, oh, I did do a lot of physical stuff that day. No, it might be that. Like it might be, it's leg day. You did a ton of squats, good for you. And you're feeling it the next day. It could be yours. I'm not saying it's never yours, although it's probably never yours. But you could also be creating it because people are supposed to have this after they do leg day, or because you were in the gym and all the other bodies that were doing this, their legs are tired. Body communication. Is this mine? Is this actually mine? Even if I have a story that makes sense that it's mine. I actually just last night had little to no sleep because of the child factors. And I woke up this morning and I was like, not even tired. I actually kind of feel very energized today and very creative. How strange. But if I perceived tiredness, how quickly, because I have that story, I didn't sleep very well. How quickly could I make that mine? Do it all the time. Just that fast. We do it all the time. We make it ours. So I'm going to invite you to play with this, to really, really, really play with this. If you don't want to do every thought, feeling, and emotion, if you don't want to do the who does it belong to challenge, and you just want to do body, just start with body then. There's actually a free app you can download, and we'll put a link to that too. And it's a who does it belong to app, and it kind of pings you who does this belong to. But if you want to just start with body, it's a great place to start. Everything with your body, everything physical, hunger, tiredness, cravings. I don't ever get cravings anymore. I know some people are like, oh my God, I'm just craving chocolate, or I'm craving, I don't know. I don't get cravings. So, but part of that was me destroying and creating me believing that everything I was aware of was mine. Maybe another body requires chocolate. Mine does when I'm aware of chocolate, it's just like an awareness and a choice. It's not that sense of craving. Okay. So all these things with your body, everything with your body, who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? And what this will start to do is unlock your body from having to live everything it's aware of. Your body is aware of so much, like, oh my goodness, so much. You think it's just aware of like what it's surrounded by, but it's not. It's aware of right now, your mother, your father, your siblings, your pet. It's aware of the earth. It's aware of the future. It's aware of so much. Your body is just this miraculous awareness unit, and it uses sensations to communicate often. It uses feelings to communicate to you. And if you make every feeling yours, then everything it's communicating to you becomes all locked in and like something that it almost has to suffer. Whew. Who does it belong to? I knew someone the other day that they started to have like some sight stuff going on. So I actually asked them some questions about like, you know, are you not willing to see something? And it was kind of clearing. And then I was like, wait a minute, is this someone else's? Instant change. Again, instant change, because you cannot take care of something that's not yours. Who does it belong to? Every feeling, every single thing going on with your body. You can do like a body scan. You can start at the top and like, oh, there's something here. Who does this belong to? Not mine. Return to center with conscious touch. Right around, get bed, pocket pot, all nature, it's ways above the odds. Who does this belong to? Like, even like, say you hurt yourself. You could be like, who does this belong to? Am I hurting myself for someone? No, I'm not. I'm being light with it, but it's actually true. I would love for you to explore this. Like, stub your toe. Who does this belong to? Free your body, because our bodies weren't made to like suffer. We didn't create these magnificent creatures to suffer them and to, you know, have every communication locked in for all eternity. You might have like that chronic back pain or that whatever, that one shoulder that does that thing, you know, and that might have been a communication 10 years ago. Your body was just trying to tell you like, hey, you know, your friend's going to dislocate their shoulder. And you've been just carrying it around for 10 years. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to your body. You don't have to do that to you. You can have so much more fun just going, oh, awareness, cool. Oh, awareness, cool. And handling what's yours. Allowing that communication and returning to center all the stuff that's not yours. Because you know what? If they don't have the information with their body, whatever their body's trying to communicate to them, then how are they going to change it? How are they going to know what's going on if they don't actually have access to it? I know it sounds crazy, because especially if it's someone we care about, we want to take away their pain. We don't want them to feel it. But that's their body's way of communicating. Pain isn't bad. It is communication. So if their body is trying so hard to communicate to them and you're yanking out that communication, you're essentially like stopping the body and the being from arriving at a new awareness. Who does it belong to? And sometimes it's people you care about. Sometimes it's someone on the street. Sometimes it's someone you don't even really know. Maybe it's someone from another lifetime. You can let it go now. Sigh of relief from bodies all over the world. I hope you enjoyed this exploration. I hope you go further with this. If you do and you notice some miraculous things showing up, please, I love hearing about it. Leave a comment below. I will catch it. I will respond. You can reach out to me personally. It's really such a joy for me to know that this podcast touches people's lives and contributes to them and obviously their bodies. So I love hearing about it. Thank you so much. I will see you on the next episode of the Curious Universe podcast. Thank you for exploring the Curious Universe with me. Your curiosity matters? And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?